Hello everybody, my name is Corey, and I'm the game master for this game. We're running Dungeons & Dragons The Eternal City. If you're wondering about that, what it is, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a link below. It'll send you to a Obsidian portal, which tells you a little bit about the world we're doing. Basically, it's Rome. It is a Roman world. I hope, last week I had a little problem with streaming on YouTube, but from what I'm looking at, it's looking pretty good, so I'm glad the stream's going well. We'll keep an eye out on it. Where we last left off is that all of the party members, which includes Verbositus, was played by Howard, Audrey, which is played a halfling, Verbositus the tiefling, played by Howard, Audrey the halfling, played by Crystal, and Regulus the elf, played by Tarek. Yes.
Hi, elf. You're playing.
Super high.
Oh yeah.
Only elves get to do this. We're the majority class, and you underlings can't enjoy it. Suckers.
And they're trying to get more money right now because there is a they got to fight a were-rat. And they don't have silver weapons, so they got to get more money. So they took this mission to go to the Colosseum to
solve a murder.
Solve a murder. That's right. They're solving a murder. That's what's going on here. And that's basically all you need to know. There's something going on with the Modrons, which is weird. And all these guys are part of a guild called the Factotum Guild. They're basically adventurers that do stuff in the city instead of out in the wilderness. And I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered it. Hey, I have patrons. We do Patreon, and you should support that. We have adventures that are for free on our Patreon site, so you can go there and pick up that adventure for free. And if you want to support us, you can give us $1 or $2, and we'll put your name up over there with the others. Anything else? I think we're good. I think we can start, unless anybody has a story to tell. I hope everybody's doing well, and we can begin as you guys have the contract in hand at the Factotum Guild.
All right. Let's solve a murder.
Yes. It would seem that we need to head toward the Colosseum. However, we might want to gather some information around town to see if anybody knows about such a murder.
Well, we should go talk to the person who put out the contract, because they'll have more information for us.
I agree, but I also have a... Well, perhaps it's just a passing idea. We can discuss it more after we speak to the man who set up the contract, or the person who set up the contract.
So the contract has some conditions on it. It says you must either A, prove that it was not a murder to the satisfaction of the client, and B, apprehend the murderer.
Well, that makes sense.
And it is a 200 gold piece contract.
I don't suppose anyone here has a spell that can just summon the ghost and ask.
Nope.
Not exactly, but we could always do a little bit of digging and find out more information.
Then the person on the contract is Queso.
Yum.
Kaeso. Queso. Like Aesop. Queso. And he is a half-elf. Anybody can make a history roll if you want on that name.
Why not? If we know, we know. If we don't, we don't.
No, I'm not actually in the game. I'm just on the Roll20 site. Hang on a sec. My bad.
Yeah, you might
need that.
need to get into the
Come in handy.
character sheet and stuff.
I know an average amount of things.
No one really knows, or y'all are not in the gladiatorial scene, so you don't know the name.
Not in the slightest.
I'm only familiar with the cheesemonger queso family.
Well, I suppose we're there in front of him.
Oh,
I was gonna say before we leave the because we were at the Factotum Guild before we leave, I kind of swirled the bottle of wine to see if there's any left, and down the remaining drips of drink, and then grab my bird and start heading out the door.
So I learned a few things about Roman cuisine this week. For example, their wine is usually cut with water or honey or something else is put into it, and that would be your copper wine, your 1 copper piece wine. And
Yeah, it would have been really strong and then watered down.
yes, it's a much stronger wine that they water down. So your 10 gold piece wine is like the uncut, like it is the strong wine, but it's also, because it's fine wine, it's made to be drunk that way. So it also has a good
that Kool-Aid
flavor.
syrup you can get where you're supposed to mix it with water, but then you don't.
But it's better. It's better than that because it's made to be drunk
Alcoholic.
that way. So
Didn't
it's
they
cultivated.
also- Didn't they also cultivate their wine in lead containers to sweeten the wine?
Wow, I can barely hear you. You want to say that again?
I said, didn't Romans also age their wine in lead containers to sweeten it?
Yes.
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 And
Good
or
move.
just forget what lead compound it was to the wine.
Yeah, I remember reading about that as a reason, a theory as why Caligula was so disturbed.
Crazy
he was,
man.
Yeah, because he was so willing to imbibed a whole lot of wine, Roman wine. And they said that lead
With
poisoning
lead.
could have been the reason why he was so crazy.
Well, beer is the drink of barbarians, so they don't drink much of that here in the city. So there you go. Everybody drinks wine.
I enjoy my 10 gold piece wine and then peace out.
So, you were saying you leave the guild, and where are y'all headed?
The person that put in the request, does it give an address or?
Yeah, I assume we
Colosseum?
just go to the Colosseum.
Was there something that Regulus was going to do before we went there? I thought you were saying you wanted to do something before we went.
Oh no, I was just describing my character gathering up his stuff before we leave.
Okay.
I was thinking about whether or not I should put my armor on, but I think I'll be fine. I don't expect we're gonna get into a big tussle.
I keep my armor on,
Okay.
but it looks nice, and I make sure it's free of debris.
I'm on business looking for a murderer, so I'm gonna leave my armor on.
Okay.
I always got mage armor. We'll be fine.
Let's go!
There is a huge circular building in the middle of the city with little
I'm
arches
shocked.
everywhere and statues in the arches. You've all seen the Colosseum.
Hard to miss.
Wait.
Pictures of it everywhere. So you get there, and it's all locked up. No shows currently.
Do they have like one of those boards that says next show ad or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say, is there just a door? Like I imagine there's like a general public entrance and like a workers entrance. Is there a workers entrance
There,
up there?
there is an entrance that gladiators. Well, you look around and there's two entrances, and they both look very big.
Is there a box office?
No,
Just the carnival barker?
there are little shops all around here, selling interesting gladiator-themed merchandise.
Ooh, gladiator action figures.
In fact, yes, there are gladiator action figures.
Like wooden dolls and wooden swords and well, I'm trying to look for if there's nobody like manning the front, quote unquote. Like I would imagine there's like a person drumming up attention for the next show or something like that. But if there's not one of those, then I'll go up to one of the doors and give it a hearty knock.
It's yeah, there are people outside that can give you information about the gladiatory area. Yes.
Okay.
They say yes. Hello, sir. Says, what kind of person would this be? I'm just gonna make it a human. Hello, sir. How can I help you?
Yes, we are looking for a man named Queso.
You wish to speak with the gladiator Queso? Doesn't everybody?
Well, we are here on official guild business, as I will tap my my little badge, my little
Oh, of course, the Factotum Guild. Very well. Gladiator quarters, where they stay when they're not fighting, is in the annex across the way.
Hey, Corey, I didn't want to interrupt, but were you talking about those action figures? Is there one for Queso?
Yes, there is a like platinum blonde, white-haired elven figure with a sword and a shield. His figure is worth a little more than the other ones, actually. It's selling for a higher price.
How much is a Queso action figure?
5 copper pieces.
I will plunk down a 5 copper if I have it. Looking at my copper real quick. I don't have copper. Copper's for chumps.
All right, I'll give you 5 copper. I don't mind.
It has...
I have a bunch of copper on hand.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you have 10, you can just add a silver to your inventory and I'll take it.
Sure, I will do that.
All right.
I have 40. I had 48. Now I have 38. 1 silver.
There, I have
Because
5
he
copper
spends
and
a
1
lot of
silver.
single coppers on drinks.
My own Queso action figure.
It has-
K-A-E-S-O.
It has 5 points of articulation. Comes with a sword and shield. Wears
Comes with
armor,
grip.
but the armor is carved into with the rest of his, it's part of his body.
Does it have
Nice.
karate chop action?
No, in fact,
What is it? His head turns and each of his limbs moves where it connects with the body.
It looks like there's like these tiny wingnut things at his shoulders and his hips, and if you open them up, you can move it more freely, but he doesn't stand, and then you can tighten them back, and they'll lock down.
I have this idea where if we take a piece of rubber and we cut them in half, put the rubber in the middle so that when you reattach it, you can twist their body and then they'll have an action punch. Man.
What's rubber?
If only there was rubber in ancient Rome.
Yeah. Is there not? I thought rubber plants is where rubber originally came from.
Yeah,
Isn't that a
rubber
thing?
plants. Rubber
In
plants?
South America?
Yeah, I thought they were in tropical areas. Rubber plants existed.
I don't know.
I mean, the Silk Road, they could get, I guess, rubber from other areas.
I gotta
but
talk to an engineer and get a spring. How does that work?
a spring might
It's a
work. Yeah,
spring.
definitely. They had springs.
I will invent the action punch figure. It's gonna happen. It's my goal now. All right.
So you have a doll.
Oh, well, now we know what he looks like.
It's an action figure, sir. It's an action figure.
The doll has real hair too.
Ooh.
So it's very like white, straight hair that comes down.
Is it painted by any chance?
Yes, it is painted.
Nice.
It's wooden,
You got
painted.
high quality stuff there.
It's wood, paint, and probably horsehair or maybe donkey hair.
I'm gonna start keeping little keepsakes from each of our quests. Unfortunately, y'all maybe give the sword back.
And you drunk the wine.
That's what wine's
Drink the
for.
wine, yeah.
Wine is a terrible keepsake. It does not last forever, despite what people might think.
Especially not around me.
So you're
all
pointed
right,
towards.
I'll start heading over to the annex.
Yes.
Where they.
In fact, this building is across the street from one of the big doors. And you can see on the street are painted lines leading from the annex to the Colosseum doors.
Interesting.
So
All right,
the annex,
I'll walk right on up as though I belong.
the annex looks like a normal Roman building.
With some columns outside.
Not especially.
It's mostly square.
Yeah, it's mostly square.
Okay. I'll walk right on up. I don't know if there's like a knock on the door situation or just let myself right on in if there's somebody.
It looks like a home, so you might want to knock on the door.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
This
So I'll
is
knock
where
on.
they live.
So you knock on the door.
Honey, I'm home.
A halfling answers. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the gladiatorial annex. How may I help you?
We have a contract for Queso, and we would like to talk to him.
Yes, I see a Factorum Guild. Okay, very well. Come on in. Follow me.
I'll kind of bend down to get my head underneath the door and walk on in.
You're not going through a halfling
You're not
door.
going through a regular door.
I know, but my character's very tall.
Yeah, and some of the gladiators are very tall.
I bet a
In fact-
disproportionate number of the gladiators are very tall.
In fact, you walk out into the courtyard where they seem to be training, and there's a dragonborn out there.
Ooh, wow, that's surprising.
I think I'm actually short compared to a regular tiefling, so clearly not having any issues.
Yeah, I'm 6'5", so my character is very tall.
Freakishly tall for an elf.
So you see,
I'm on the taller side for an elf.
Queso. Obviously that's got to be Queso because he's the only guy with like white hair, and he is in the middle of training with a very ugly, just really ugly man. His face is squunched. He's got like not attractive scars like abrasions. It looks like he's got a little of that
Like he's got road rash going on.
No, what's it called? when you
Acne
have
scars?
Yes, acne scars, but he also has that's stuff where you get dandruff, but it's really bad.
What,
Oh, like the like
Psoriasis?
Psoriasis. He has like psoriasis behind the down his neck. He's just a really ugly guy. He's got Popeye arms. He's got like really big
really big forearms.
and like really. His shoulders are pretty wide though, but his forearms are just really bulbous for some reason. He's not an attractive guy, but he looks like he could kick your ass.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh, I'm so shocked.
while they're training, they seem to be moving slow. Like, Queso's like pointing at how he's going to move his sword towards him, and the other guy reacts in a certain way. It's like they're rehearsing.
Okay, they're doing their choreography.
It's like they're rehearsing actually instead of actually fighting.
It's fake! It's all fake!
As a
Throw
performer,
I throw
I'm
my
like,
action figure down and cry.
oh.
Yeah, I
You're
throw my
having
action figure down and
rehearsal.
cry. All right, we keep talking at the same time. I don't know what Crystal is saying.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all are hearing me or her.
I don't know. But I was like, as a performer, I'm like, oh, they're rehearsing.
All right, so I'm gonna look around the room with Eldritch Sight. Is there anything magical in the area? Basically, I detect magic at will. No spell slot.
Oh,
I want to see if they're cheating while they fight, although it's already obviously choreographed.
yeah. Let me think. Out here in the courtyard, is there anything magical? No, I'm gonna say no.
I'll just kind of like do a circle around the courtyard because I think it's like a 10-foot range or something. It's not that far.
Okay.
I'll double check, but that seems right.
I'm gonna say that there's not much here in the courtyard that is magical. There might be like a magic lantern or something like that, so they can train into the dark, into the night. You can assume that's what that is.
Oh, it's 30 feet, but yeah, okay. All right, that's fine.
So there is a magical lantern.
With detect magic, I know the school of magic if it's applicable.
Okay.
Applicable.
We got a lot of magic detectors in this group.
So I would have to
Beep,
say
beep, beep,
that
beep, 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 beep.
Yep, definitely magic. This is for sure magic.
that it is an evocation. That is an evocation enchantment upon the lantern.
Okay. So yeah, it probably is light. Makes perfect sense. All right. Yeah, if y'all have magic, like spells, you don't show up on detect magic. In fact, I don't even think. Well, it says the presence of magic. Any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. So I guess if you had a spell active, you would have that up.
I don't think any of us have any magic up right now, except for my familiar. My familiar would probably show up as magic.
And I'll look at his familiar and go, "Hey, he's of the school that you conjure familiars with. How weird."
It is intriguing.
Okay, I'm guessing it's conjuration. Is that a school? Or am I just thinking of Skyrim?
No, it is conjuration school. Yeah, find familiar is conjuration.
So as you're making your way across the courtyard, a dwarf gets in your way and says, "Can I help you?"
Point to the factotum pin. Here for queso.
He's right there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Quite abrasive, but much appreciated either way.
No one ever called me abrasive. I'm sorry about that.
It is not your fault. I perhaps imbibed too much wine before.
I think he's
Elves
talking
are
about
very
the
sensitive.
You
voice.
got any more of that wine?
Sure, you can have the remainder of whatever's left in this bottle.
Oh,
I
And
think it's empty.
Much obliged. Yeah, okay, whatever.
I'm gonna watch them until it looks like they're at a stopping point.
Okay.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a thing of wine on me, so I will pass him that since he just got gypped. So I give him some of my wine.
She'll take the wine.
Oh, it's a she. My bad.
Yes. Yeah. It's,
I didn't catch that description. My bad.
it's hard to tell dwarven males from females,
this is true. This is very true.
and
According to Gimli, it's because they all have beards.
the most striking feature about this woman is she has, besides being a dwarf, is that she has two different colored eyes. One brown and one pale blue.
My name is Verbositus. I didn't catch yours.
I'm Malfa. I'm
Malfa,
one of the gladiators around here.
Oh. Fascinating. We're here investigating a murder that occurred. I was wondering if you knew anything about it or knew who might.
You know, Queso thinks it's a murder.
You don't
I'm
think so?
not too sure about that. It could... Look, Antius, he was failing in health. Maybe it was just his time. You know what it is? You know what I mean?
You know, I heard a legend once of someone with a name like that had some strength that came from the earth, I believe it was. Fascinating story. Did he have a hook or anything when he wrestled? Or he fought? Wrestled? I wouldn't say wrestle, I don't know what that is.
Oh, no.
When he fought in the ring?
Antius hasn't fought in a while. He was a trainer.
Oh, I see. So you don't think he had any enemies or anything like that?
Gosh, I don't know about that. We gladiators, most of us, we have to stay here on the grounds. But people who work here, they got homes. A lot of us we're still working things off.
How much debt do you owe? If you don't mind me asking.
My last count, I owe still $500,000.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, well, a mining project didn't work out very well, and my family went into debt, and here I am.
Well, good for you
Kicking
for
ass
making
for
it
your
for your
family.
family's debts.
None of them would last a day here in the gladiatorial arena.
I'm sure you do great things, though.
Well, I'm kind of a catch-all. I can play pretty much anything.
So there is still, I imagine, some physicality to it. You can't just be an actress.
Of course. You can get really hurt out there, all right? I've had broken bones. I've had lacerations. This stuff ain't... Yeah, sure, we're putting on a show, but we're also really fighting out there.
Thank you very much for your time. We should go meet with Queso. That is who our appointment is with.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you again. Need to buy another pint.
So you're waiting on Queso, and he doesn't even seem to notice you. He's like in his own world with this other guy.
Oh. Not like that.
And
Probably not like
the
that.
other guy finally kind of stops him and points to y'all. And Queso stops and he looks over,
Twiddling my thumbs.
back
I was gonna say I'm gonna be hanging out with my bird.
at the guy, and he's like, he just kind of, and he walks over and he says, "Hello, greetings, welcome to the Coliseum Annex. I am the great Queso, one of the best gladiators in the Coliseum. I assume you're fans."
Point to the factotum pin.
He looks down at it and says, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
I understand you sent for us
"I sent for you."
to investigate a murder.
Oh, yes, the murder! Yes! Oh, how could I have forgotten about that? Yeah, this is very important. This was our trainer, and he was found dead yesterday. Oh. He's now back with the Absolute, and we need him here. Unfortunately, the Padre won't raise him. He's dead.
Not really a
He's
thing we
gone.
can do either.
Well, I'd like to bring the person who killed him to justice.
Your fellow gladiators feel that it was just his time. Is there any possibility there?
Look. It's possible he may have just passed. It may have just been his time to return to the bosom of the Absolute, but I don't think so. He was taking care of himself. He knew the risks. He's been in this business a long time, and he wasn't one to take chances with his own life. He doesn't do that. He's smarter than that. He's been teaching me those same values.
How exactly did he pass? Do you know? What, or at least what people think happened?
The Padre said it was exhaustion. It was right after training, morning training. We have our meals in the morning, we come out to train, and then afterwards, he had pain. He had pain in his chest and up his arms. And we ran to get the Padre, and by the time we were back, he was already expired.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I think it might be poison.
It's a possibility. We can look into poison and see if any of them begin with a feeling as you have described.
The Padre says it wasn't. I don't trust the Padre. Perhaps he had some reason to get rid of Antius?
Did he have any enemies that you knew of? Any reason anybody would want to kill him?
Most of us gladiators aren't allowed to leave, so if he has any beyond these walls, I don't know of him. But he didn't have any here. We all got along with Antius pretty well. But I think perhaps Spurius may have wanted to kind of brush him out since he was on his way out anyway. Well, he wasn't on his way out. He was trying to stay as our trainer for as long as possible. But I think Spurius might have expedited his leaving for more money. That's my idea. I mean, Spurius doesn't pay us as much as we're worth anyways. He thinks he can get away with it because, of course, we're not... A lot of us aren't here on our own free will.
I see. Are you here on your own free will?
No, my father put me in here.
Debt as well, or...
Velmar Salas is my father, though he wouldn't admit it. He figures if he had a half-breed son, he might as well throw him into the gladiator pits and get more reputation off of him as a gladiator than anything else.
A cruel fate.
He makes sure that I have just enough debt onto my name to keep me in here. I don't think I'll ever be able to get out of here. Not without a reckoning.
Interesting. I'm sorry to hear that. I truly understand.
So this Spurious character, what more can you tell us about him?
Well, he's the owner. He's the general manager, should I say, around here. He does the shows. He owns the land. He makes sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. He gives us our pay, all of that stuff.
Has he shown any disdain toward you or the trainers here?
Always.
Intriguing.
I think he knows where his bread is buttered, though. And the disdain he gives us is usually supposed to keep us in line.
And yet you feel that he might have held some kind of grudge against this trainer?
I didn't say he held a grudge. I said he cares about money.
You did mention that you might have wanted him out in the hopes of making more money. Spurious? Yes?
I mean, you have an old trainer that has been working for so long. They're worth way more money than if you could get a fresh trainer that you could lowball.
Interesting.
Especially the people lining up to take this job, a prestigious job training gladiators.
Seems easier to fire him than to kill him.
You can't just fire somebody around here. Everybody
not.
has connections. Everybody has... If he just fired Antius, he'd have an entire family that supports Antius come down on his head.
Is there anyone else who might have more information about Antius and the moments before his death?
Talk to the Padre. He's the physician. He's our head cleric. You can find him in our shrine.
I meant more any of the other gladiators. Was there anyone spending time with him before his untimely demise?
We were all here.
Oh, who was he training? Yes.
We were all here. We have morning training.
Oh, so he trained. You're all trained by the same trainer. You don't have individual trainers.
No.
Good to know. So, any hot tips on who I should bet on next fight?
Queso, of course.
Of course, you should. Yeah, he's like, of course, you should bet on me. I am always the victor.
Good to know.
The people do
Well-
love me. I have quite a big fan base.
Well then, I suppose we should get started. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. Please, do good work. 200 gold pieces is a lot of money for me. Me and Tertius over there, we're the only ones who believe that this investigation might be good, might give us good results. The town guard is already on the side of the Padre.
Who's the
Your
other person
friend
that
here.
believed you? Curtius, you said?
Tertius. That's that guy over there. He doesn't talk much.
The
But,
guy he was
got a
practicing
good
with
heart.
earlier.
Yes! Yes, he's very... You know, he has a great work ethic. I wish I had as good a work ethic as Tertius over here. He's a good friend. Please, don't say anything about his looks.
Oh no. That would be rude.
Absolutely. I would never be rude.
Look, some people are just born beautiful. What can I say?
When he calls out his looks, my character cannot help but stare for a moment.
I like elbow you in the ribs.
Yes,
I
perhaps
elbow him in the shin.
Beat the crap out of you.
There are 5...
Of course, we should certainly speak with him and get his take on the matter. I'm sure. Verbositus.
There are 5 gladiators here today. 3 of us are out here training. Tertius, Melfa, and myself. Anshar is the only one of us here that is... He wants to be here. And he does whatever he's doing. I don't know.
He wants to be here?
Yeah. Anshar wants to be here. He's paid off his debt a long time ago. He's just having fun. And the last person is Urze, and they usually keep him locked up. He has a tendency to escape.
Is he a danger to the other gladiators?
He never attacks us. But he has
So he just doesn't follow the rules. That's what you're saying? He
Yes.
likes to leave and go into the city?
he wants to escape. I don't blame him.
Understandable.
See, when you said locked up, I immediately, out of character, am picturing like a Hannibal Lecter situation. He's Oze the Crazy.
He's in a
That's
straight
exactly what I was thinking.
jacket.
Like the dude was like raving mad and was like wanting to fight constantly.
That's what I was picturing. Just like,
What
we
was
keep
that
him
name
in
again?
a cage.
Urze? So is there anything else you want from me? Any stories I can regale you with?
Perhaps another time. We should get on this case, though. I would imagine you'd like your results as soon as possible.
The quicker the better, I suppose. I mean, I guess clues would dry up after a while. I'm not sure how this all works. But
that is a problem.
It depends on the clue.
I do, by the way, have a side business. I can't give you a reckoning with your father, but if you'd like him to be pranked anytime, let me know.
I'm spending all my money on this right now. We'll talk about pranking after I get a few more, some more gold.
Sounds good.
I'm just picturing giant rats now.
That's where we're going to send that were-rat. It was a prank. What happened? All right. At this point, I'm going to step away from him so I can talk to y'all a little bit more privately. Do we want to interview the Padre, or do we want to go to the librarian and look up the poison? See if it's possible that there's a poison that matches that description. Because if we don't trust the Padre, then we can't expect good answers from him.
I mean, I believe we should probably speak with as many individuals around here as possible, including this Padre. Regardless of his trustworthiness, we could at least interrogate what he knows, and perhaps even the other gladiators, what they were privy to before the incident.
Also, the trainer didn't live here. I imagine he didn't have breakfast here. We need to find out where he lived and if he had family, someone serving him breakfast.
I agree. These are all great points of emphasis for us on our investigation.
Shall we split up or stay together?
Given that this could have potentially been a murder, perhaps it is safer if we stay together.
I agree.
Oh, very well. So.
Let us go and speak with the
Do you want to get jumped by a murderer all alone?
Well, it would solve the case.
Perhaps we should interview this Padre before we cross-reference what he tells us with the librarians.
I would point out this murderer uses poison. I'm not terrified of someone that's afraid to fight me.
Well, don't eat or drink anything they give you then.
Perhaps he wasn't scared. Perhaps he isn't scared of fighting just anybody, but perhaps he was a bit intimidated of fighting someone who was, well, a trainer of well-trained combatants.
Perhaps. Let me look up trainers in the monster manual, see what kind of challenge training they are.
I guess it
All right,
depends.
so,
Is it the master trainer?
Padre first, then?
Excuse me?
I was asking them if they want to do the Padre first.
Sure. I mean, he's probably closest to us.
Works for me.
Okay.
I imagine Spurious probably doesn't live here.
Probably not.
You walk into a small shrine. It's basically got a little altar, a couple chairs. It's got the symbols. The symbology is a rectangle with a circle in the middle. There are some doors leading off in different directions from here. You're not sure where they go since you came from the end of the hall. You can make a religion check to understand the symbols if you want.
Okay. Is there anybody else in here?
No, not right now.
We are not religious people.
Well trained in religion.
Yeah, you don't know.
We're like,
Yeah, so
it's a
I'm gonna
temple.
kneel down as if I am praying, and secretly carve a symbol for my primordial that I am a warlock to.
Where are you carving it?
His symbol.
Where?
Oh, just you said they were little like pews, right?
Yeah. You're gonna carve it into a pew?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'll attempt to slide a hand so that my friends don't know, but if they do see, they don't know that it really matters. They saw. I'm gonna try to be stealthy, and you hear.
You're such a rebel. Next to it, you'll draw that stylized S from high school.
Oh.
Carve that in there too.
And then a picture of a butt right next to it.
A butt.
All it is a picture of a butt.
The door will open. And you'll see a tiefling in priestly robes walk into the room from, I'll say, the left-hand door. Oh, greetings! Welcome to the gladiatorial shrine. I am Padre Ceso.
Pleased to meet you, Padre. My name is Audrey, and these are my guild companions, Verbositus and Regulus.
It's a pleasure, Audrey. You seem to be factotum.
Yes.
How can I help you?
Well, Queso hired us hoping that we could figure out for sure what happened to Antius. As I'm sure you know, he doesn't think that it was natural death.
He was very upset at me when I suggested such a thing. But, Antius had been of failing health for a while. He came to me for treatment on a couple of occasions with chest and arm pain, heart palpitations, things of that nature.
Dude, what is a heart palpitation? Something growing on his heart?
When his heart beats in a fashion that is not normal, it felt like his heart was going to explode out of his chest at some times.
Did he have a history with these problems?
Recently, yes.
A curse. It must be a curse.
I've done some restorations on him, but magic can only go so far. So I had to put him on a strict diet. He would only be able to eat meat on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I reduced his salt and had him eat willow bark.
These things are supposed to help your heart somehow.
Indeed they do.
Sounds like
You believe somebody might have been privy to such information and endurance.
Well, Chef definitely had that information.
The chef, you said.
Yes, the chef.
Of course, who else would cook for all these people?
I was thinking more so someone who would have tested him vigorously or put him into a state of exasperation that could have caused him to expire.
Well, he would have these bouts of illness after training when he did do the most hard work.
But no one else besides the chef was privy to the conditions that he suffered from.
Probably the other gladiators knew. Whoever ate with him at lunch obviously knew that he had a different a different diet than the others.
Did you know this man well?
I know everybody here well. I'm their guiding light towards the absolute.
Can I insight check him as he's talking about all this? Does he really care about these people, or is he full of it?
That's what I was gonna get to as well.
Feeling averagely
Regulus is
insightful
feeling
today.
insightful.
To you, he seems kind of impervious, but Regulus, you don't know if he's like really cares about all of these people, but he really cares about his faith, definitely. And part of being part of the religion of the Absolute is being compassionate and helping others. So you think that a person like that would be incapable of being malicious to somebody? Murder? Poison?
So perhaps he wouldn't be someone to have done the killing, but that doesn't mean that he may not.
He was misdiagnosed.
Yeah, exactly. That he may have that he may not have knowingly misdiagnosed.
Or like maybe he was having those heart problems because somebody was slowly poisoning him.
That is another good question.
I know. I understand why you believed in it. Is clearly an older man with heart issues. But if someone did want to harm him, do you know of anyone that didn't like him?
He got along well with most people, especially the gladiators, who very much revered him. I can see why Queso wants it to be murder. He doesn't accept his death. As for the others, well, everybody loves the chef, and I think that the chef loves him back. He takes care of everybody. The owner,
Spurious?
Spurious Supertus. Spurious Supertus. He seems aloof and indifferent to the plight of everybody. As long as he's making money, he seems to be quite happy, and when he's not, sweeping changes suddenly happen.
But you don't believe that Spurious would be inclined to end someone for financial reasons, do you?
I haven't seen him do it before. If he has, that's definitely a change in what I know Spurious is.
I would assume if you had seen him do it before, you would have reported that.
Also, Spurious is not that motivated of a man. Unless it directly affects his finances, I don't think he'd move much in any way or direction. He's a lot of talk, and he simply has the power to back it up. The guards here all definitely jump to whatever he says. Everybody's on his payroll, and I'm inclined to do what Spurious says as well, as I'm here at this shrine, and I get the medical supplies needed to help these people from his pocketbook. I don't get many donations at a shrine inside of a coliseum.
Where did he live?
Spurious?
No, not Spurious. The deceased.
Oh, Antius. Antius lived here. Though he was free to go anywhere he wanted, he was an ex-gladiator and lived with the gladiators.
So he had no family then? No wife, children?
Oh, yes. He has one of... Well, he had one of those. But they have separated a long time now.
So that doesn't seem like a likely option either.
Well, when you're forced into gladiatorial combat, your family tends to move on.
But I was under the impression he could have left. That he was already paid up in his debt.
Yes, he could have. He definitely had the option of leaving. But he enjoyed the life. And he fought until he couldn't fight anymore, and then he trained. He became a trainer.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your time, and that's all I have to ask, and I will step back in case Regulus or Audrey have a question.
Do the gladiators have their own designated rooms?
It depends on their station as a gladiator. Most of the rank here have a combined room, but the champion gets their own room, but they have to give it up if they lose their championship. A lot of the newer gladiators have to become accustomed to their new life, and they can, a lot of times they get put in cells.
What of the trainers? Did he have a separate homestead for himself?
Yes, he had his own room. He can tell you where the room is if you want to go there.
That would be helpful if we could get a look at this
Would
place.
be good to get a look, yes. And, where did he die?
He died in the courtyard after a training session. It was late morning.
Do you know who he was training with?
He was training with all of the 5 gladiators that are currently here.
Hey, Gory, I'm gonna just look around the church and detect magic.
Right. There are some like baubles, some like like a holy symbol on a stick, and that's kind of magical. And the altar is magical. The altar has some sort of illusionary magic on it.
Neat.
And the stick, the large stick has. Give me a second. Gotta look up these spells. I don't know them off the top of my head. Has evocation magic on it.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you again for your time. It's
I
been
can't
so
think of
helpful.
anything. I guess that's it for now.
Then may the blessings of Miserai guide you.
Thank you.
Alright. Once we step out, I'm going to suggest that we talk to the our librarian contact, and see if we can get any research done on whether or not there's a poison that can mimic this heart issue.
Okay. It'll take a while for y'all to get to the library. Is there anything else you'd like to do at this place before you go?
I think we
I'd
should
like to
take
look at his
a
room.
Yeah, Antius's room.
Okay. You go to Antius's room. You walk inside. It's open. You can go in there. There are on the walls. There are just posters of different shows that he's basically pasted up on the walls, all over the walls. There's a window.
Is he like featured in all these posters? He has
Some
on
of
his
them,
walls?
yes. A lot of them. Most of them.
I figured. Like, he used to be their champion.
He has an empty vase. It's a very nice vase, but it seems to be empty.
That makes sense. There's nobody here anymore.
What else would be in here? He has a few like knickknacks and stuff from his time as a gladiator. There's a sword hanging on the wall.
Detect magic?
No, you don't detect any magic.
Like, magic sword? No. Oh.
Well, I'd like to take the sword down and unsheath it and just take a look.
It's just a finely made blade. It doesn't look like there's rust on it, or it looks well oiled.
The vase,
As
however, is a
expected.
mimic, and it ate the flowers.
He
So
took good care of his weapon.
On the shelf, there looks to be like a box that is missing.
Oh.
See a
Like
box
there's
that's
a-
missing?
Yeah, there's like a place where the
spot
dust
where
isn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right there, you'll see what's not there. What?
Other than the box, though, it doesn't look like anybody's been in here to clear out his stuff.
Not really. His dresser still has, or his wardrobe still has a bunch of clothes in it.
Is the vase
Whoop.
dry in there? Like, did it recently have flowers or anything in it, or?
There's. You don't know. You want to make an investigation check? I'm gonna do something with an
I guess so.
investigation.
17.
17. It probably, you see a little bit of water at the bottom that is just like, somebody probably took took it out, dumped it out, put it back, and all of the residue kind of like dripped down to the bottom, and that's what's left down there.
Okay. Well, this recently had flowers in it. Somebody has thrown them.
I'm gonna search
I'm
around the
gonna-
room to see if there's any. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna check his clothing pockets to see if there's anything in them.
Yes! You find a handful of gold coins.
Okay.
Rob the dead.
You know, an actual
That's it.
hand holding gold coins.
Yeah.
It's a hand full of gold coins.
There's
Oh,
like,
that's freaky.
there's like 7 gold in there.
I was gonna say I'd like to look around the rest of the room to see if there's anything that he might have hidden
Okay.
in his room.
Make a perception check.
Perception
Or
or
is that
investigation?
investigation?
No, it's perception.
Oh.
You're looking for hidden things. Alright, you find nothing.
Okay. Once I'm satisfied.
Absolutely nothing.
Once I'm satisfied, there's nothing really like hidden out of view that he might have, kept discreet. I'll turn back to the rest of the group and go, well, looks like there's not many clues left here. The
I'm
next,
curious about the missing box.
well, I was going to say the next thing I would suggest doing is asking any of the other gladiators if anybody's been into his room lately.
Sounds like a plan.
I want to check under the mattress.
Okay. You check it on the mattress, there's nothing there.
Okay.
What do you else what did you else do you wanted to check?
Lewd pictures.
To find out if anybody knows about the missing square object.
Who are you talking to?
Well, we have the other gladiators, so I suggest we start with
Like, maybe we should go back
not
to
the locked up
Kiso.
one, because he's not going to have seen anything. I kind of like Melthar. That was the girl dwarf, yes?
Yeah. Melfa.
Lovely lass.
Okay, you go to speak with Melfa. She's taking it easy, drinking some water. She gets up when you approach. She says, "Hi there."
Hi.
Hello. Good to see you again.
I'm
I have a
happy to
quick
see
question.
You too.
Has anyone been in Antaeus' room since his demise?
Yeah. I'm sure a couple people have been in there. Probably our caretaker and probably the manager.
You don't happen to know if either of them left with a box about, I give the dimensions based on the dust.
Oh, that's a strong box. Yeah, it's got whatever he owed, whatever money he had that we didn't put in the bank was probably in there. I'd talk to Spurious about that.
You think he's collected it?
I think he took it to give it to whomever needed to go to.
Very well. Thank you.
Banknotes are probably in there. Very important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody empty his flowers?
We don't want him to die. That's what I would think. You just don't leave
Seems
them
like
in
the kind of
there.
thing I would have forgotten about.
Our staff is pretty good at keeping things tidy around here.
All right. And thank you very much.
Ah, thank you for helping us out here.
Oh, by the way, where can we find Spurious?
Oh, he has an office, and he tells you where the office is. She tells you.
Is he here right now?
Probably.
All right.
He likes to be here during the day. He likes to look like he's doing something.
Okay, we should probably go talk to him then.
Yeah, he probably won't like you being here.
Yeah, from what I've heard from everyone, I expect so.
Very well. We'll try not to take up too much of his valuable time. And we'll head towards his office, I guess.
Sure.
To the office.
Need some dramatic office walking music.
Yes. You get to the office, and you knock on the door, and the door open. You just hear, "Come in!"
I come in.
All right, you walk in, and behind a desk is the fattest elf you've ever seen. He has a jet black goatee and short jet black hair. He seems to be messing with some sort of paperwork.
I elbow Regulus in the ribs the moment he starts to stare. Spurious?
Yes, that's me. I'm Spurious. You're the
Excellent.
factotum.
Verbosity?
You're the factotum that Queso hired.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We don't want to take up too much time,
Good.
but we do have to ask some questions.
Okay.
Did anyone dislike Antaeus?
Dislike him? Perhaps. He was very well liked among some of the higher elven communities. But
Okay.
the Marsalis family didn't like him very much because they helped Queso so very often.
Why wouldn't they like him? I don't understand the issue.
Vel Marsala is Queso's estranged father. He doesn't like him very much.
Oh, yes. He did mention that.
He pours himself a glass of wine.
Were
it
you the
down.
one who removed the strong box from his room?
Yeah, I took a strong box.
Is there anything of interest or of note in there besides whatever valuables he was storing?
He had some banknotes. He had some jewelry. He had a letter or two from his daughter.
He had a
Will
daughter.
any of that money go to his daughter?
Yeah, this money will go to his daughter.
Good.
Where was she? They have a good relationship.
No.
Intriguing.
Yeah, there you go. His daughter's mother. If there's anybody who probably would want to do something to him, it's her. Though I don't see how. They don't come in here.
Did he ever have contact with them outside of letters?
If he did, I didn't know about it. I don't really care what he does when he's not here. As long as my gladiators are in tip-top shape, can do their job, and put on a spectacular show. I don't much care what he does.
And he was a good employee, earned his money or whatnot.
He was getting up there. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but he was on his way out.
Yes, we
If
heard
I had
as
my
much.
way, he probably wouldn't have been here.
But you, of course, didn't take any action in that regard.
What, I'm stupid? No, of course not. Look, he
Insight.
did his job well, and what am I supposed to do if you do your job well? Fire you for that?
No, it seems logical. I will insight, of course, but because that's what I was leading up to. And I was kind of insightful.
Did you roll?
Look,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Came
nothing
up.
came up.
if I sacrificed
Online.
quality here, so I'd have so many people breathing down my neck. I have an
You
obligation.
do see the insight, right?
I have an obligation not just to myself,
No.
but to
It
this
didn't show
entire
Martha.
city. And to the Caesar. I take it very, very seriously.
I nod respectfully, but out of character, did you not see my insight roll? Am I the only one who sees it?
I don't see it at all.
It shows up on mine. It says I got an 18. I just
see
don't know
that.
why y'all aren't seeing it. That's weird.
Make another roll. See if something else doesn't show up.
Okay, here's an acrobatics check. Nothing's happening.
Nope. I guess F5 your page.
Oh, there's animal handling.
handling.
I got animal.
Okay. Animal handling, but right over that, it does say 18. I'm like, I could screenshot it, but whatever. I'll roll it again. See what happens.
Insight. Ugh.
Ah, lame. That's offensive. Stupid thing. I flipped this table with my laptops on it.
I'll give you your 18. I believe you, Howard.
I will screenshot it for you.
So he says, as you're like scrutinizing him and what he says, he's either lying or not telling you the whole truth or all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
He's being a
Maybe
little
he's
shady.
trying to play you. I don't know. Something's going on.
Okay. Well, good to know.
So are you going to question everybody around here?
As many as possible, yes. We like to be thorough.
Okay.
Is there someone in particular we should talk to?
I have no idea. But we have the head of the guards you can talk to. We have the chef. We have our cleric. We have, of course, the gladiators are here. Our special effects person. Our animal handler. And I think that's it. Yeah.
I need you to read between the lines, sir. That was not for you. That was for Eric.
So that's all of them.
Okay. Do you happen to have that strong box with you here right now? Or has that already gone out to his family?
Oh, I have it right here.
Would you mind if I just take a quick look at what's in there?
Yeah, I do. I don't know you. This is his stuff. It's going to his daughter. We're not.
We are officially looking into this.
If you give me a reason why you should look in there, like a solid reason other than you think he was murdered, I'll let you look in there.
Because if there's nothing in there to hide, there's no reason for it. You don't believe... Are you accusing the Factotum Guild of wanting to rob a strongbox?
You know, I
I
don't know
don't
you
understand the
guys.
problem.
I don't know you guys, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. Give me a reason. Give me somebody else's say-so that there's something in that leads you to believe that he was murdered, and I will definitely let you look in there. Otherwise, you're not gonna look in there.
We can't know that until after we've looked. You're doing this in the wrong order. You want us to have the answer to the crime before we've solved it.
You didn't mention that there was letters in the box and that his wife may have had reason to want to see him harmed.
Oh,
if
yes,
we could
that's
look
your
at those
say-so.
letters, that could very well open up a line of inquiry that we
Very
can
well.
go and
You
further.
give me one gladiator, one other person that has worked here that says his wife was here or his daughter was here, and I'll let you look at that box.
They don't need to be here for poison to arrive. They just need to contact a poisoner.
Then find the poison, and I'll let you look in the box.
Just let us look in the box.
No, get out.
You are officially denying the Factotum Guild. I just want to make sure for my report.
Very well. You can put it out in your report.
I will gladly do that.
But I'm going to make sure that this man's possessions get exactly where they need to go, with
We
no
don't wish to
interference.
take them.
I
We're
don't
not
know that.
thieves.
I do
Oh,
my
by the
job,
way,
you
I'm
do
going to look
yours.
around his room. Detect magic.
Okay.
Anything?
Yeah. There's all sorts of magical stuff around this room of all different types, and you know, he's got a weapon that has some sort of enchantment on it. He's got a potion or two with some sort of enchantment. There's a box that's enchanted. All sorts of stuff.
All right, but the box that's enchanted, it's not that box, right?
No, he hasn't
Okay.
even shown you that box.
Oh, okay.
It might be that box. I don't know. There's a
Well,
box.
Okay. I don't know how it works. Like, I sense the magic over there. I just don't know if it's like I get like a glow that's the shape of a box, or
You can't see stuff that you like. You can't detect magic through something that you can't already see.
Yeah, you
through.
can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
think
It says,
so, yeah.
"Sense magic this way can use faint aura, blah blah blah. You can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of a common metal, or a thin sheet of lead."
Okay. Well, then there's all sorts of magic everywhere.
It's just all over the place.
But yeah, there's a box out that you can see.
Okay.
The right size.
Yeah. I don't know if you can detect shapes through objects. I'm not gonna say
don't
no.
know that.
I'm gonna say that you just
Yeah,
see the
that's
radiating
fine.
light of magic. But yeah, this guy has magical items.
It says I see a faint aura.
Yeah, but I guess. I don't know. I'm just saying there's lots of magic here. It's all sorts of different things. If you want to get specific, we can sit here and talk about it for an hour.
No, I'm not asking you to catalog the things in his room. I'm asking specifically about the box.
Okay?
I'm looking for a box that
There's a
might be
box. It's on a shelf up there, and it's radiating of magic.
And the question was, is it about the right size box?
Probably.
Okay. That was it. Sorry, I didn't mean to start a fight there. Okay.
Well, this is clearly going nowhere.
Yes, we might as well leave. Of course, this will only make the investigation take so much longer. Oh, such a shame. What a waste of time. Not my time.
I will
guess we
head
can-
out of the room.
Talk to the captain of the guards.
Sure. So we step out.
Okay. You go to see the captain of the guard. He's making the rounds. He sees you. He says, "Oh there!"
Hello?
You, Factotum here. I already know that you're here investigating the murder. It's not a murder. Padre said he had a weak heart. He died.
Yes. But, alas, we must be thorough. The contract requires that we either find who killed him or prove that it was natural causes.
Very well, how can I help?
Well, first, I was wondering if you could tell me about Antius's family. We heard that they were on poor terms.
Yes. They were on very poor terms. In fact, they barely ever came here.
But they did come sometimes?
Has it been for months now?
Well, that is very seldom, yes.
Only when they need something from him do they come. His wife is already remarried. They have, they've had kids.
Yes.
But they know Antius has some money. And, sometimes when they need some of that, they come. Antius squirrels it away.
Oh, and a strong box that he kept on his shelf in his room?
Oh, he usually put it in the bank. But
Oh.
the strong box has the notes.
Oh,
So to access the
you know
bank
what
money,
he
you
was
have to get the
actually
notes.
keeping in there.
I know everything.
Of course.
If
Do you know if anyone else might have had any ill will toward this man?
Nobody here. He was well liked.
Perhaps not within the Colosseum, but without.
He liked to go carousing sometimes. There are several establishments that he'd like to go to here and there. You can go in there and probably ask around. I'm sure he wet his whistle, he got some companionship, those types of things.
Did he frequent a particular one?
He tells you one,
Okay.
gives you a location.
Well, since it's a part of the job, I suppose we must go to this tavern and drink. Only to be thorough.
Otherwise? Well, you seem to be fairly confident in the Padre's assertions, but he did mention that if he was pushed to his extremes physically, he could have been it could have triggered his ailments. Do you believe that someone might have been willing to do so, push him past his limits, in order to remove him from his position?
It wasn't us. We don't train with him. He trains with the gladiators. So if it's somebody who pushed him over his limits, I'd talk to them.
Interesting.
Otherwise, I don't know. Like, how does one bake exhaustion?
I don't think that the accusation is anyone faking anything. I think it's more like if you had a heart condition and we continuously fought with you or angered you to make you.
Well, then I talk to the gladiators.
I believe that is your theory, yes, Regulus?
Indeed. My wonder is whether or not one of the gladiators may have pushed him too far. Or
One of
whether
his
or not they
trainees
just
may
know
have
it.
broken his heart.
But it is just as plausible that somebody could have concocted this illness or placed this illness upon him. The Padre did mention that these symptoms were fairly recent.
For the last few months?
So the Padre said that he was being very careful about his diet and doing the things that you would normally do to not give in to your symptoms.
Precisely.
I would talk to the chef about that. He takes care of all of our dietary needs.
Thank you very much.
It's a great note. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you for looking into this for us.
He seems to
Even
have
if it is just natural causes, it would be nice to have the prize fighter here be in the right place.
Look, I don't want anybody suspicious of anybody here, so if you can prove that, that would be of great help. We all gotta work together here.
For sure.
Indubitably.
Very well. So we want to talk to the chef next, or we want to go find out if this poison even exists?
I think we should talk to the chef.
Very well. You know what we need is a hireling that can just run off and get messages out to our contact at the library.
Once we're out of earshot of anyone else, I want to say, it sounds like it's been a few months since Antius's family has shown up here, and it's also been a few months since he started having heart problems.
This is a good point. It also mentioned that the family was needing of monies, and if Antius has been saving up monies and they were aware of this, it could have been a plot to secure his resources.
So if they had maybe met the chef while they were here last?
Yes. Or, just some way gotten the chef to add something to his food.
Turmeric, perhaps? I believe that's how you get tumors.
Oh, jeez. I saw a show once where someone was like, "Oh, it's vanilla! Add this to their pie!" And it wasn't vanilla.
So by that logic, if turmeric gives you tumors, does mustard make you poop?
You must turd, absolutely.
What does that do for curcumin?
I definitely wouldn't want anything on my food called dillweed, and yet that's in my spice rack. The chef, then.
The chef. You go to speak with the chef. You walk into the kitchen, and it looks like there's a lot of low tables and culinary stuff. There's a pot boiling, and all sorts of stuff going on here. Fires, and there's a halfling working very diligently.
Greetings, so good to meet you.
Hello, how are you doing?
You have a deep voice.
This is my voice. What's the matter? What, do you think I should have a high voice? Just because I'm a halfling?
No, that sounds racist. But it would be more comforting.
Well, how do you do? What's your name again?
Did I write down anything?
Chef.
Number
His
one.
name is Chef. It just says Chef on his hat.
Here it is. My name's Pash.
Pash?
Actually, we don't want to take up much of your time. You're clearly cooking for all these gladiators. But we just want to ask some basic questions about the special diet that the deceased Antaeus was on.
Yeah.
So you were aware that he had some sort of heart issue and you had to give him less salt and all those things?
Yeah, no meat unless it was Tuesday or Thursday. Lower salt, vegetables, that sort of thing. The Padre made me do it. And he agreed. They said he was sick, though you wouldn't... I couldn't tell from the way he acted. But I made these dishes very special for him. I made sure that the instructions were followed to the letter. I take pride in my work here.
Where
So
did you
you-
get the ingredients, might I ask?
Right here, you can look around.
I'm
Oh, so
rolling
that we're
insight.
not
Let me know if
specially
it doesn't
ordered
show.
for him.
No, I have mostly everything I need right here.
Intriguing.
And
Doesn't
you,
matter.
you never ever slipped him anything special?
You never asked for anything special.
Okay.
You said that he did not seem to express any of these symptoms that Padre had mentioned. Was there any mention of these symptoms being expressed by the other gladiators here? Topic of conversation, perhaps?
What do you mean?
I simply mean if you were led to believe that he was not expressive of these symptoms of having exhaustion problems or weakness, fatigue, would any of the other gladiators have also had such an inability to notice these things? Were they even aware that he had a special diet as part of his?
I couldn't tell you. You have to ask them. Look, I'm the cook here. I make the food. Sometimes the gladiators come in and chit-chat with me. Sometimes they don't. We talk about, like, the weather or making a special dish or sometimes gossip. But they
So
didn't
was
talk about their health
That's
unless I had to make something special. Sometimes a gladiator would want to bulk up and I'd make something special then.
Well,
You can get more muscular from food.
Of
I
course.
didn't know this was possible.
Yeah. I'm very well versed in types of foods that can help build weight, muscle. Also, I can make you skinny as hell if you want.
I already have that going. So what do I eat to become super strong? What do you have?
He starts pulling out some like special grains that he makes into this bread that's super dense and highly caloric. He has some, he says you want to eat this kind of meat, and he'd serve that to you. You know, he's got a special sauce that he uses, all sorts of stuff. Fish.
I'm just gonna be super upset. Someone's gonna be like, and then when you train, no, just the food.
Yes.
Just food to be strong.
And that's what he basically says. Yeah, he ends it with, after you train,
Oh,
you will.
I knew there was a catch.
It will
when you
build
train,
more muscle.
it'll turn into muscle instead
Yeah.
of fat.
If you eat this stuff without training, you'll just get fat.
Well, I'll pass on that then. Too much work. Have other things to do.
Did anyone by chance give you, like, any medicines or special ingredients to add to Antius's food?
No. Nobody gave me anything to add to their food.
Okay.
Insight?
Lower salt, no meat. I know he was taking some willow bark too, and sometimes he'd come to me for. Well, Padre took care of that.
Okay.
But that morning,
My dice are not loving me.
but that morning, Alanu did want to see me.
Who?
Alanu.
The
Actually, don't
Padre?
think I have that
Oh
name in the
no.
notes.
He's our illusionist.
Oh.
Oh, the special effects man that was mentioned.
Yeah. He did want to talk to me that morning. He said he was he wanted a special dish for the afternoon. He gave me some instructions on what he wanted. So I don't know.
I'm gonna do a insight check on him just to kind of gauge his honesty with us.
I've already rolled on him twice. I'm convinced he's perfectly honest because I don't want to
Same
admit
here.
that I
I
can't roll.
completely believe every word that he said.
No,
What-
you
find this-
think the opposite. This guy's definitely hiding something. If only you could figure it out.
You wonder.
Maybe there's poison in here.
Well, I'm certain that you wouldn't mind informing us where this illusionist stays, and also if we took a look around to make sure that everything's in
I
order.
already told you could look around. Go for it. Have your way.
Good, I will certainly do so. I start walking around and looking through all the stuff.
All right, you
If
want to
I
make
find a
perception
cookie,
check?
I steal a cookie.
Perception or investigation? What did you say? Cut out.
Make a perception roll.
Perception check. Okay.
If I find a cookie, Corey, I'm going to steal a cookie. I'm not
Okay.
actually
You
investigating.
take a cookie. You
Probably
can
fine with you taking a cookie.
get, you get a biscuit. You start
It won't
looking
make
around.
me stronger. Grr.
Here's a question. How far do you go in looking? Do you start opening up drawers and looking in cabinets?
He's
Do you
unscrewing
dive-
every bottle of
Do you dive into the
spices.
refuse bin? Do you
If I don't trust
do you
this
put
guy,
your
and
hand
just-
into the bubbling cauldron to see if there's anything in there? What are you doing?
What is
Aha! He stores heat in here.
pull out like a chicken drum?
He stores bones in here.
Like, this is obviously what killed him. Look what it did to my hand.
Murderer! Murderer! I will be thorough in an investigation. I won't be like dunking myself into harm's way, but definitely going through stuff, even if he gets a little roused by the fact that I'm going through stuff.
Okay. He just looks at you doing stuff and he says you're gonna put everything back where you pulled out.
You don't want that biscuit back, do you?
It will not be in the
Oh.
same shape as it went in.
Give me
I
time.
know. Are there any ingredients that you only used for Ontius's food and nobody else's?
He thinks about it for a second, and he'll say, let me just show you, I'll just make you a dish. And he starts pulling out, different vegetables, and he'll make like, a little stew with a little bread. It's all vegetables, it's vegetable broth. Well, actually, it's actually like a fish broth. Then he'll pour a little in there, but it's mostly vegetable.
I keep my hand on my chin and nod as he does it, as if I know exactly why he does each thing that he does, even though I know nothing about cooking.
Tarek,
Yes,
as you're
yes.
going through the refuse, you pull out a vial, a bottle. Not that big.
I look at the vial. Does it have any writing on it or inscriptions?
Nope.
It has a picture of a skull, but as you straighten out the
It's
label,
actually a
it's a
llama.
llama.
But you don't. After you look through all of the drawers and stuff, this is the only vial like this in the entire kitchen.
I pull it away from my face for a second and kind of look at it, then look over at the rest of the party, and kind of indicate the bottle. Strange how this seems to be the only bottle of its kind in here. Can you explain what this is from?
I will eat that delicious meal he made.
All right, it's all right. It's not like the more heavier, like tastier dishes, but it's definitely
It's
good.
reduced salt with no meat.
Yeah.
You know what this needs is salt and meat.
So he looks over at that bottle that you have, and he says, "That's not from the kitchen."
It's not from the kitchen.
Do you recognize it?
It's one of the potions that Padre makes.
Well, then likely he would recognize it. Maybe he can tell us.
Does it still have a stopper in it, or is the stopper removed and
Would
just
you like
an
to
empty-
look in the refuse for that?
Yeah, I'll look for a stopper.
Okay, you dive back into the refuse.
We don't know him.
The halfling's like, this guy's devoted. That's gross. It's smelly in there. It's not
pignuts in
good, but
there.
you eventually
That's-
find
I
the
mean, we went
stopper.
traipsing around in a sewer. I'm not really worried about refuse when we.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that either.
Yeah, do you like have prestidigitation to clean yourself?
Unfortunately, no, I do not.
No, you have to
I
take
need
an
more
actual
peaceful
bath.
spells.
So, yeah, you have the stopper.
Okay, I'll kind of take the stopper and put it back into the top of the vial, and then put the vial into a pocket.
Okay.
Something we can question the Padre about later.
Anything else you'd like from the trash? Lots of pig guts. How many
might
pigs have you
We're
made? Oh,
going to be
this is
doing
like-
an investigation onto whether or not a man was murdered. I take that quite seriously.
I'm taking it seriously. I taste tested the food and I'm fine.
Well, for now we've taken up much of your time, good chef, but perhaps it is time for us to continue our investigation elsewhere.
I think so.
All right.
Thanks
Guys
for
have a-
lunch.
We may have
I
more.
hope I was helpful. Okay, where y'all going next?
Do we go back to the Padre? Go speak to whatever that
He told us
illusionist
where the
man's name
illusionist is. Yeah, he told us where the illusionist was. Maybe we should go and speak with him.
Okay. Someone directs you to the supplies and props warehouse. And you open the door to to this place, and it's kind of a large room with all sorts of props and supplies and stuff. And there's a little desk there. There's no one in there.
Okay.
Is there no one in there, or do we just think there's no one in here? I look around and
Is
detect
the
magic.
illusionist invisible right now?
You look around, you detect magic. There are no magical items in this room.
No magical people.
But there is a locked door where you can detect some faint magic.
I've detected a door, and I point at the door. We should go through there.
It's probably just like his supplies, which are magical because he uses magic.
You check out the door. It is definitely locked with a very interesting, complicated lock.
Audrey, you bought a key, yes? Oh, wait. Do.
You don't hear anything. Then you hear hello from the
Oh.
door behind you.
Oh,
You see
the
the
door
little-
we entered through?
Yes, you see the little halfling butler.
Oh,
Oh, we was
Hello.
looking to see if there was anyone in there that we could speak to. What's on the other side of this door? Is that a room?
Are you looking for?
we're looking for Alinu.
Alanu is in the stables.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Appreciated.
And you are?
I'm the butler here. The butler. He's like, I'm the caretaker here. I see the day-to-day of this entire place.
Do you recognize this? I'll pull out the vial.
Yeah, gladiators use that sometimes. I think the Padre hands them out.
Do you know what usually is inside of these things?
A helpful potion that makes them better gladiators.
Interesting.
It's steroids.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Someone got a bad
It's
batch
a
of steroids.
vitamin concoction.
It's an all-natural herbal remedy. Well, I guess we'll be off to go and find Elenu. Thank you for your time. Secretly, we're gonna walk away from this, and it's gonna be like that dude was the murderer the whole time.
I think everybody here is probably the murderer.
They all grouped together to murder him.
Yeah, that was the answer to that training movie. I forget the name of it.
It was everybody.
It was.
So you go see...
recent Johnny Depp movie. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, all the people on the train murdered the dude. Everybody did.
So you go into the stables, and you see a black dragonborn.
Well, that's not an appropriate ride.
He seems a little hunched. There is a toad that sits on his shoulder.
It's familiar, I guess.
And he is brushing a beautiful, like golden horse, like a very rich red colored on this horse with a very blonde mane, and he's brushing it very nicely.
Hello, greetings.
He turns, he kind of, because he's hunched, he kind of flows as he turns to see you. Hello.
Are you Alanu?
I'm Alanu. Who am I speaking to?
Verbosinus. We are with the Factotum Guild. We are here investigating the death of the trainer Enteus.
Mm-hmm.
We were wondering if you knew the man and knew anything about what occurred on the day that he passed.
I knew him. I worked with him to make sure that any stunts or anything that was necessary for the shows that we were putting on all came together exactly as planned. I took care of all of the special effects. If the arena needed to be filled with water, I would make sure that happened. If there were special lighting conditions that needed to happen, I would make sure that those would happen.
I have a weird question for you. Have you ever had to fake a death?
We don't try and fake deaths or injuries here. If that word like that got out, well, the Colosseum would lose faith. People would lose faith in the Colosseum, you see. The illusion must always be maintained, even if you have to make sure it's real, to make sure the illusion remains.
Insight on his answers, see if he's dodging me or if he actually is worried that I'm like onto him. And I do not know a darn thing.
Yeah, no.
These dice tonight, man. I swear I'm skilled in this. Am I? Oh, I'm not skilled in this. I don't know why I keep thinking I am. That explains these terrible rolls.
What more can you tell us about the day in which the trainer was, well, when he passed?
The day that he passed, let's see, what was I doing? Oh.
It was yesterday, right?
Yes. I was out getting this horse.
So you were not in the Colosseum when it happened.
I was here in the morning, but most of the day I was gone.
Did the trainer ever express any symptoms of an illness, fatigue, an inability to maintain a fighting spirit while training?
Yes, he was ill. The man was... Look, he had problems with his heart, with his stamina, and if he died, it's probably the cause. And you probably are wasting your time here, I hate to say.
You say if he died. You doubt that he died?
Some of the other gladiators seem to disagree with your interpretation of events.
Well, gladiators are notoriously stupid.
At that, I will give an insight check.
Okay, he definitely means that.
So he's sincere that he
gladiators.
Yeah, he dislikes gladiators, but he overall he seems to be
Overall, he's also
Bang.
creepy as fuck. You don't trust the guy.
Did you ever work with Padre to administer any concoctions or potions to help handle their mental ailments or development?
I have my area. Padre has his area. If anybody gets hurt, you send them to Padre, alright? Sometimes my special effects can cause injury. When that happens, they go over to Padre.
You recognize these? I'll pull out the vial.
Where'd you get that?
Well, I stumbled upon it while we were in the kitchen area with the chef. Seem to believe that you and Padre might know more.
He looks at his toad for a second. He looks back over at you and says, Gladiator, what's his name? Anshar. He's a foreigner. He loves those things. He can't survive a day without having one of those.
What do they do?
Help them fight. It's medicine.
Well, yes, but it makes you more energetic.
Probably.
And if you had a heart condition, would it upset that?
Ah. You're smarter than you look.
Oh. Well, I know I'm beautiful, so I must be brilliant.
Can I do a knowledge nature to identify what kind of frog he has?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
I don't know if that's good enough.
It looks to be like a common frog in
Just like a common
region.
toad.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it had any, like, poisonous or venomous qualities, but
It's like a neon orange common toad.
Neon orange.
Completely
I'm
lickable.
I'm sure my owl is eyeing it like food.
Yeah, well, no, actually. Your owl
It's
isn't
smarter
owl
than
language.
that.
You're pretty sure your owl and the toad both understand that each other are familiars and aren't actually owls and toads, but a celestial spirit transformed into that creature.
Sure.
I'm going to look around the room with detect magic. Anything exciting in this table?
The toad is magical.
There's no horse.
There's no horse.
Yeah, the horse isn't real.
The toad is magical because it's a familiar. It has
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
fine familiar magic has on it.
Conjuration, yeah.
No, there's nothing magical in here. Does he have anything magical on him? No, he doesn't have anything magical on him right now.
You know, I'm going to totally do that to my players one of these days. They're going to be, I detect magic. Everything around you is an illusion. What? Nothing is here.
You're in a simulation.
And now that you've seen through it, you fall to the floor. Bye.
You see through it. You are in the middle of a desert. It's all been a mirage. You've been drinking sand. You've been eating sand.
You've been starving to death for days.
That prostitute you had was just sand.
I hate sand. It's
Those
everywhere.
sand boobs weren't real.
Your pants are all bloody.
Oh God.
Alright.
Singed.
Do we want to call it, or you want to continue?
If you guys want to continue, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I got
I
that.
just know that this is about the time.
It's about the
Yeah.
time. It is about the time.
I'm done to keep going if you guys are.
Maybe we should ask the Padre about those potions.
I agree.
Okay, you go to see the Padre. He's in his shrine.
Hey, on the way to the Padre, did we cross through that courtyard?
Yes.
Look around the courtyard for illusion magic. Everything here is supposed to be here.
Yeah, you already did that.
Yeah, you walked all around the courtyard when we first came
Oh, that's
in.
right. I totally did that when that was never mind. I was just like, what if the illusionist faked his death? But they probably would have cleared his stuff out since then, so.
So you go see the Padre. You notice the Padre is casting a spell, finishing casting a spell on one of the benches that was carved into earlier.
He's like
Mending?
doing mending.
He mended it.
As he turns to see you, he says, blessings of Miseray, or Miserai.
And back onto you, Father.
You've returned. I assume you have more questions?
Yes, we heard that you... Well, obviously you make up medicines for everybody, but you also pass out a potion that helps them fight better?
There are several potions that I use for that.
Oh.
The vial.
Yes.
Some of the...
That's a energy potion. Can I have that back? I don't have... They tend to go missing.
They tend to go missing. Is there a person you might suspect of taking these from you?
Anshar needs them daily.
Is he addicted in some variety?
I would assume so, yes. He says he doesn't feel right unless he has one at least once a day.
What is in it?
He starts rattling off a whole bunch of ingredients and magic and stuff that kind of makes your head spin.
So, like, he also does spells on it?
Yeah.
Let me make an untrained herbalism check. I have no idea what that is.
Could one of these potions be utilized in order to exacerbate a health problem?
He thinks about it for a second and says, that is an interesting idea. I hadn't considered if Antius had taken one of these potions before practice, it would have exacerbated his heart condition. That definitely could have killed him, especially since they only work for a limited amount of time, and afterwards there's a crash afterwards. There's a downward effect.
And you said some of these are missing.
I said the bottles are missing. I don't keep as good of an inventory as I should. Come over here. And he'll open up the other door, and in there is basically a room where he does medicine. And there's like a place, there's like shelves with jars of stuff on it and stuff like that. He says, here's all the potions I have made so far. I try and keep a good count of the stuff I have, but I'm very lax on it. So if one goes missing, sometimes I don't know.
Does anyone else know how... Would anybody be in position to take one of these without your knowing that you are aware of? Would you suspect anyone particularly? Outside of this man who seems to be addicted, I do not imagine that he would steal one and not use it on himself.
No one can go in and out of... I have pretty good hearing. No one can go in and out of here without me knowing. So unless someone was particularly stealthy, that's possible.
What about an illusionist?
You think Alanu did it?
I'm
We do
simply
know that
stating
he,
that an illusionist would have the capability of hiding what themselves or their entrance into a place fairly well.
We do know that he said he was only here in the morning, and yet the cook said he had a special meal made for himself for later.
I don't know anything about that, but I didn't see him all day on yesterday.
He's clearly lied about something.
I wonder if anybody else could corroborate his alibi, saying that he went to go buy a horse.
He bought a horse?
That's what he claims.
He said something about being out getting the horse that's currently in the stables.
There's a bunch of horses in the stables. I don't think he owns one, though. If he
Oh,
got
so
a horse yesterday, he must have bought one.
A pretty golden one with blonde hair.
Yeah, that's new. That's a new horse.
What would he need with a horse?
Well, the gladiatorial combats actually sometimes have horses.
They can sometimes have horses, but
Certainly, but why would the
we have
illusionist?
those brought in specifically for that. No one here owns those except for the Colosseum.
Yeah, well, he does have a new horse there. He seemed very proud of it.
Well, I guess he's saved.
The horse is Antaeus. He's fine.
He's been disguised as an illusioned as a horse the entire time.
It would have
or
been
the
pretty
horse.
funny if he
Or
had
the horse is the
accidentally
murderer.
discovered that.
So, he gives you, he pulls out a book and he says, well, here's my ledger if you want to look through that.
Sure. Regulus, you have a good mind for that. Ledger.
This is just like his records of inventory.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I'll look through the records, see if there's any discrepancies.
Investigation check.
Sure.
Investigate.
It's one of the things I'm good at.
You notice that the numbers line up exactly with his inventory.
A little too perfect.
Does anyone else know how to make one of these?
The recipe isn't exactly a secret, but you do need clerical expertise for them.
I ask
I
because
can sell you one if you like.
I ask because the inventory you have listed here matches up with the supply that you have in the closet. If that is the case, then either one of these was given and accounted for and utilized surreptitiously.
Either that, or there was something else in that bottle.
Or there was something else in the bottle.
Well,
Maybe someone
hand
just
the bottle
got
over.
one and
Can you
didn't
tell
use
me
it.
anything more about this bottle? Or the contents that might have been inside?
this is an energy potion. He points to a bunch on his shelf. This is what I used to give to the gladiators to give them a boost in combat. After about an hour, it wears off and they have a slight crash.
Regulus, who was the last person in that book to take energy potions?
Good question. I'll look back in the logs. Is there a log for the most recent entry?
Yes, it is Anshar.
Anyone other than Anshar?
It has every gladiator's name in there, and some gladiators that you haven't heard of that aren't here, because and if you ask about them, he'd explain that there are gladiators come in and out of this place all the time from different areas. So
And some of them leave in hearses.
there are deaths. They're rare, but they happen.
Perhaps we need to speak with Anxious then.
And he says,
And
when
sure.
you point out that everything's accounted for, he says, "Oh, looks like I've been doing my job better than I thought."
It is still strange that this was discarded offhandedly in the chef's refuse bin. He did not seem to be aware that it was even within his kitchen. Though
Are they throwing out my bottles now? You know, the bottles are
Perhaps if
cheap.
they didn't want to be caught with it, if it's a murder
I'm gonna have to
weapon.
have some words with the gladiators if they're throwing out my bottles.
Hmm.
I don't mind if they leave them laying around. The butler can get them and bring them back to me eventually, but
Can I hold on to that bottle? I will promise to bring it back to you once the investigation is completed, but I want to ask some questions of some of the other gladiators and use this as a point of interrogation.
all right, go ahead.
How much are these? Just out of curiosity.
I can give you one for 25 gold pieces.
Oof. Nah. I'll stay with coffee.
All right.
If that's a thing.
He does explain to you that the mechanical benefit of this potion is that you get a +2 to your dexterity score for an hour, after which you get a -2 to your dexterity score. The bonus goes away, and then you get a -2 on top of that until you take a short rest.
Okay.
Well, looks like we have a couple of people that we need to go and and interview about the potions.
I would say that the locked up gladiator Oze is the one who is the least suspicious.
Okay. Who are you talking to first?
Emshar?
Anshar, you go find him. He's in the He's in the gladiator quarters. He is wearing bright colors. His garb is Arabian, and he looks like he is a man from that area. But his clothing are definitely flamboyant. His area, he has like little bottles of these potions like sitting around in his little area in the gladiator rooms. He sees you as you walk in, and he stands up and he gives you a bow, and he says, "Greetings, you are the Factorum, are you not?"
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Yes, we are.
I have heard you are here, and I wish to speak to you about this entire predicament we are in.
Please, tell us what you know.
Antius was a fine man. He did not deserve to die like he did, but we should honor him. Now, the children, they will weep in anguish because he is gone. But we shall keep him in our hearts. I hope he was not murdered. That would be a noble end to this man. For if he was murdered, it would only be poison, and a gladiator does not want to go out to poison. So if you are coming here telling me that that is the case, I would spit on you.
Couldn't you just spit on the poisoners?
Anchar, I have a question for you.
Yes. How can I?
I am told that you take an energy potion most days in order to keep up your vim and vigor.
Ah, it is delicious. You should try it sometimes.
Has anyone have any of these elixirs gone missing from your supply?
I am only given one a day. I cannot take any more than that. They say these are expensive. They say, Anshar, you take too much and you don't make enough. That's what they say. But I need them. They are part of my life. I would never let one out of my sight. They are my lifeblood. They are what I use to get along. If one would go missing, I would be very angry. Who dare steal from Anshar?
Have you noticed anyone else taking these lately? Over the last couple of days?
Oh yes, sometimes we take them before matches. Everybody, especially if they're feeling down, unmotivated, they would take them before a match to make sure that they are at full, that they are fully prepared for the match.
I pull out the vial and go, we found one of these in the chef's kitchen, in the refuse bin of his kitchen.
Why would the chef be having one? Is he cooking with these potions? Is there a recipe with those potions?
I do not believe so.
I think I have to talk to the chef. I did not know you could do that.
The chef did not seem to realize that it was there, though I would not trust him further than I can throw him.
Right,
you wouldn't trust the chef? What did he do to you?
He seems to have been holding back information when we were investigating him.
Chefs can be secretive. They have special knowledge of their dishes. They do not want them stolen.
Secret ingredients.
Yes, of course, the secret ingredient. Did you find his secret ingredient is the Vim potion part of that?
Oh, probably not.
I simply wanted to know if you knew of any other individual taking them within the last couple of days, because if somebody would have given this potion to the trainer, it might have set off his condition and caused his demise early. Used as a poison, it could be quite effective against someone who had a
No, he was not poisoned. No.
How would you know?
How dare you insinuate he was poisoned?
Antaeus had a heart problem. That concoction would make his heart beat faster, which is a problem for him.
Oh, so you are saying he was not poisoned, but he burned himself out with his work. That is a noble way to end.
Unless someone else gave him the potion.
No one gave him a potion.
Yes, it was discarded in the kitchen. It could have been in the food that was brought to him instead.
So you are saying that the chef put a potion
Not
in
saying
his
the
food.
chef did it. I'm saying someone did it.
Everybody has access to the kitchen, right?
We just want to know if you saw anything. We're not saying you did it.
I did not see anything. I was eating my food in the kitchen. I get up a little late. I'm groggy in the morning. I don't have... Look, I am not a morning person until I have had my Vim potion.
May I roll insight?
Yes.
Not on the morning person part, but the other, him not seeing anything. It's him! I caught him! Punch him in the face right now! No, I'm just kidding. I'm assuming I get the wrong answer.
I don't know what the wrong answer would be.
Seems like you should know.
You are 100% sure that this guy is faking an addiction for some reason. He's not. He doesn't need these potions. And he's putting everybody on for some reason, but you don't know what it is.
He's one of those guys who goes, "Oh my gosh, I literally can't live without my coffee."
Let's see. I got a little bit colder to him because at this point I think he's weird. Don't get him.
What can you tell me about the illusionist that works here?
He doesn't like us, I think. I don't know. As a Dragonborn,
He mentioned
I'm not
as
sure
much.
how many Dragonborn act, but Urzai over there, he's very upset at most things. Urzai over there, she's very upset most of the time, but she just wants to leave. And you see like some bars and in the shadows back there, there's like a figure. She hasn't been let out since the trainer died because no trainer, there's nobody to train her. Nobody trustworthy.
Perhaps we'll go talk to her next. I look like I'm done with this guy. I'm ready to walk off.
Did you ever see Alan Yu yesterday?
Did I ever see Alan New yesterday? No. I can't say. Yeah, I think I saw him at breakfast. He went to go see the chef.
He was in the kitchen then.
Yes, but he wasn't in there long. He left. Oh, no. Forget I said anything. No, he never went into the kitchen. I'm stupid. Yeah, he's like, no, I never saw him the entire day.
Oh. Really?
I will still do an insight check just because, I am asking him a pointed question.
Okay.
I want to do it just because the stories don't line up.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the things this guy says anymore, so whatever.
Yeah, he seems on the level. He seems like he's telling you the truth.
A bit twitchy, but other than that,
He's not twitchy. He's just flamboyant.
okay. All right, I guess we should go and speak with the caged woman.
Okay. You walk over to the cage. It's a little dark in there. As the light comes in, you see a gold dragonborn sparkling in the light. She comes closer to the bars. She approaches you. Hello, she says. As she opens her mouth, you can see that she has several missing teeth.
So, does the cage have a view of the courtyard?
No, there are no windows back there. It's totally dark back
Oh,
there.
okay. Alright. So, we're with the Factotum Guild, and we're here looking into the death of your trader, Antaeus. We're wondering if you knew or heard anything.
Antaeus was nice to me, so I would like you to figure out if he was murdered or not. That would be nice. I was at breakfast, I trained with him, and then afterwards he died.
Is anyone else walking about doing anything suspicious or out of the ordinary?
The chef left during the breakfast.
Did you see anybody else go inside of the kitchen while he was away?
No.
Did Antaeus seem particularly vigorous during the training?
Yeah, he was actually pretty on his game during the entire time.
Was he normally that,
Energetic?
Yes.
I haven't been here long, but he usually takes it easy. He has us do most of the hard work. But he said he was feeling pretty good that morning. Until he wasn't.
I see.
Well, what do you know about the illusionist here? The other Dragonborn?
I've never talked to him.
Did you see him at all yesterday?
No. I know he exists. I haven't really seen him much.
You're not missing much. How bad is your debt that you're trapped here?
It's about 300 gold pieces. It's not insurmountable, but I chose this rather than prison.
Kind of run my hand across the bars. So different.
What
You
did
tried to escape, is that why the cage?
You know, I thought I could get out of here. I thought I could leave. But I can't. So, they thought to punish me here.
But you didn't have any particular dislike of Antaeus? You said he was nice to you?
Yes, he...
Was there anyone that didn't like him?
No, everybody liked Antaeus.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, where are you off to next? Unless the other two have questions for...
I don't know, I'm kind of stumped, and also I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I'm thinking
You're
maybe...
stumped.
Well, I mean, I have a theory.
Like, there's several things that look like leads.
I don't
But
know.
they're
I
all
think that
going in
Alan
different
lied about his
directions.
schedule that day. Which is weird. It's also weird that because I asked her if she saw anybody doing anything out of the ordinary, and she said the chef left during breakfast. It's weird.
More reason not to trust the chef.
Yeah. Well, also if he's left, and Alan is an illusionist, he can probably invisibly walk into the kitchen.
Well, I want to say, if there's any possible way that we can get into the office and check what's in that lockbox.
You know, I honestly thought the lockbox was a total dead end till the guy freaked out about letting us look at it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, then clearly the answer's in the box.
What's in the box?
However, I am really actually hungry. I haven't eaten dinner. And it's getting kind of late.
Okay, we'll end here then.
Alright. See you guys later.
Hope you took good notes. Goodbye, everybody.
So
And
notes.
thanks to KMJH for watching. We'll see you later.